to pillar number 9, government integrity and constitutional rights.
Yeah.
You know very well back in 2020. So question before I get to the real question.
Yeah, no, this was not on my radar to run for governor. And I want to say this emphatically. When God called me, I said, please, not this. I'll do whatever you want me to do, but don't ask me to run for governor. Because I saw it as it's impossible for a Republican who's conservative like me to win in a state like California. But God said, listen, I called you because I'm the God of the possible. With me, all things are possible, and I will get the glory, not you, because you know you can't do this. And then it made sense. I said, oh, okay, God, if you were going to back me up, then okay, I'll obey you. But I need a miracle. I need a miracle to win, but I believe in miracles. God has shown me time and time again. He's been so faithful. Even suing Governor Newsom was his faithfulness manifested because as soon as I sued him, I got a letter from the district attorney of Pasadena. I'm going to jail. They were going to fine me $1,000 per person per week that we've been open. We calculated at $4.5 million and counting. And, you know, the other thing is that they reserve the right to arrest our church members. That's the last paragraph from the district attorney. And I have a copy of that. You know, it's just a reminder of, look, the governor lockdown was not a law. He just made a suggestion because you can't pass a law unless you have legislation and you sign off on it or you have a measure. So it was not law, the lockdown, but he interfered with us. And I felt it was unconstitutional because of our First Amendment rights. And my attorney that I consulted, Matt Staver with Liberty Counsel, said absolutely, and that you have a case to sue and that it could go to the Supreme Court. And I said, well, listen, before I do anything, I have to pray. I have to get a word from God that this is the right decision. You just don't sue Governor Newsom or any governor or anyone. You got to really hear from God. And the Lord gave me Joshua 1:9, have I commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be discouraged, do not be afraid, for the Lord your God is with you every step you take. And so I said, okay, you're with me, I'm going to sue. And I lost in the lower courts, I lost in the Ninth Circuit, but it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court affirmed that Newsom had violated the Constitution and interfered with my freedom to meet as a pastor, and gave a 6-3 decision that really set a precedent for the whole nation. It wasn't just for California. No other governor or even a president can lock down the church in case of another pandemic or emergency like the pandemic. And so that was a huge win. And I do feel that this state has been violating our U.S. Constitution. I don't see any constitutional right for us to declare ourselves a sanctuary state and have open borders. The U.S. Constitution, the borders was what makes a nation. We have to have closed borders. There has to be a process of how people can come into a given nation or even a given state. And so I feel that we violated the Constitution there. I feel like we violated the Constitution of being a transgender sanctuary state. I believe that we violated the Constitution with Proposition 1, codifying abortion to a state constitution, when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. We immediately put it into our state constitution against the U.S. Constitution and the U.S. court. So I feel that we need to get realigned and have state rights because there are certain latitudes that we do have within our given state. And I'm going to exercise that with immigration policy that I'd love to talk about, you know, as one of the points.
How would you... Tell what you just said. How would you bring integrity and transparency and constitutional accountability back to this?
Well, you know, I'm going to uphold the Constitution. I feel that the places where we violated the Constitution, I feel that we need to put it out before the people, that I believe that we need a proposition, a measure that I'm going to help raise money for, that we can vote as people, we the people. Like, for example, I feel like the gerrymandering of what Prop 50 was unconstitutional. And we, as politicians, can't pick our own lines so we could win. It has to be the people that decide. And we violated something that was already in our state constitution of having an independent council that would draw the line based on the census every 10 years. And so I'm going to pass another measure to counter the Proposition 50 or sue them and join the lawsuit against Proposition 50 that hopefully will go all the way to the Supreme Court, and that we would reverse that. So those are things that I want to do. Anything that is a measure or something that we have passed in our state assembly, state senate, and the governor has signed off on, that I don't believe is constitutional. I feel that we need to fight it with a measure, countermeasure, or a lawsuit.